All right. How's it going, everybody? Today, I'm going to do a video response to the number one question that comes in over DMs, over email, conversations, phone calls, what have you, and that is, what is the right age to be working on mindset or to take your course, the Peak Potential Hockey Project? Which is a great question. I mean, when is the right age? What are we? When should we do it? Usually, there's concern by parents that they want their child to be able to retain everything. They want them to have 100% buy-in. They want to make sure that this is right for them. All valid questions. Now, to start off with the over 70 players that have taken the course so far, ages 8 to 20 have gone through it. Boys, girls, goalies, defensemen, forwards, super competitive, drafted players, junior players, all the way down to double A, single A players. And they have all got something from the program. I haven't had one person take the program, 8 or 20, that has said they didn't enjoy the course and didn't get something from it. Now, of course, different personality types, different age groups, etc., will take different things from it. An 8-year-old is not going to understand in the layers and the depth of which I'm talking about some of the concepts, but as long as they take something away that they can use that empowers them, this is a success. And they can revisit the content at a later date, or check in with it later when they are more mature and when they are have had different experiences and they're able to utilize maybe some of the parts of the program that they didn't quite understand or didn't quite get at first. So first of all, don't worry about retention, that I'm going to get everything. A 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old are all going to access the information differently. They're all going to process it differently, and they're all going to apply it differently. But the idea it is all applicable at all ages. So don't get too carried away about what they can or can't get. Let the child experience it for themselves. Let the player experience for themselves. Let the young adult experience it for themselves, and see how they process it and how they apply it. Now, as far as a perfect age, if I was to pick one age, it is the age of the player going from U13 here in Canada to U15. So that would be Pee Wee to Bantam. Now, why do I think that age? So right now, this is a 2009 birth year. In this year, 2022, it depends on when you're watching this video. But in 2022, it's a 2009 birth year hockey player who is finishing his U13 year, his Pee Wee year, and is going on to Bantam next year. Now, why do I say that? Well, for a lot of reasons. First of all, and especially actually the timing of right now, like I'm recording this beginning of February, right now, with a course coming out on February 7th, I think is actually the perfect of perfect times for the 09 group. Why? Because we have playoffs coming up for most of us in a month to 5 to 6 weeks. The course is 4 weeks long. What a great gift to give your players to be able to access some tools and new strategies that they can use at the biggest time of the year before they're going to playoffs and heading into provincials. Plus, what happens after this season ends? We get into spring hockey. And what happens in spring hockey for this 09 group? All of a sudden now they're into body contact. This is a massive change in the game. They won't experience a bigger change. They have to learn how to play with their head up. There's a physical element involved that's never been there before. People are going to get hurt. People are going to be scared. Smaller players are going to have a hard time adjusting. Bigger players are going to have a hard time adjusting. You never know what's going to happen here when hitting comes in. And do they need some strategies for that? Do they need to be able to view different situations and different adversities with an empowered head and with a clear head? I think that's a great place to introduce this stuff. And then we even fast forward to the fall where you're getting into league scenarios. Hitting is there again. And usually at this Bantam age, players are now starting to separate. They're starting to get out of their hometown associations and joining zone programs, especially the competitive players, or they're going to academies with new players. They're having new coaches, new experiences. They're out of a comfort zone, is what I'm saying. Right? They're not trying out just in their own hometown anymore. They are experiencing everything new. And do we want to be confident and we do want to be as comfortable as possible when we're walking into those scenarios? Of course we do. Now let's even get rid of hockey for a second, because I've always talked about this program as being a personal development program, not just a high performance program for hockey players. I do believe in developing the person behind the hockey player, the holistic approach. Now, what is going on in the 2009 birth year right now? Well, they're going from grade 7 to grade 8 in the fall. For most of us, that means elementary school being the kings on campus to high school, the bottom rung in the totem pole, with 18-year-olds hanging around that they're watching and seeing and can be intimidated by. Puberty is happening. Girls and boys are now starting to look differently. Things are happening to their bodies that are differently. They're going through growth spurts. They're not as coordinated as they used to be. All these things are happening to their body and within them when they're trying to figure this all out. That is a big, big life change. And this is when choices come into play, right? Like they're starting to experience things. They're starting to be exposed to different elements. We want our kids to be empowered to understand who they are, what they are about, to be able to make positive, strong choices. So what does the program do? It empowers them to understand who they are. It talks about self-awareness a lot, what you're thinking, why you're thinking it, and does it align with what you want? We want committed young adults moving forward. We want them to be committed to a craft that they love, which is hockey. We want them to be grounded in a foundation that allows them to make powerful, empowered choices. And that's what this program does. So if I was to pick one age group to introduce this for the first time, if I had the magic wand to make it mandatory, it would be that birth year, right now, 2009 born players. I would also make it mandatory right at this time of the season. I think it's perfect. If not, at the start of the season would probably maybe even be just as good. But yeah, that's what I would say as there is one age group. Of course, it applies to Bantams, and Bantams should be taken if they haven't been exposed to this stuff. And junior players, the BCHL team that I'm working with has taken it. This applies across the board, across the spectrum. But again, I've been asked for one age, and I would say that would be the age. So yeah, if you're going into playoffs now, and I'm sure most players are here, if you're thinking about trying to make a junior team at the end of the year, if you're thinking about trying to make the AAA team, if you're thinking about you want to maximize your player development span once playoff ends to the time you're going to go to tryouts there in the fall and through the summer, this is a great time to get your system aligned, to get your head aligned, to get your thoughts aligned, to be taught new strategies and new tools, things you've never thought about before, things you've never been exposed to before, so you can really double down on this thing that is important to you and your player, which is hockey. And thank goodness we have kids that are passionate about something. What a gift that we have as parents to have players that want to be hockey players, not just play hockey. And I think there's a difference there. So this is for all the players out there that want to be hockey players and not just want to play hockey. And it's for all the parents out there that want to support that hockey player and also want to support the personal development of that son or daughter. So everyone have a great day. I hope that answers your question. Again, the next program starts on Monday, February 7th. If you're watching this video at a different time, you just got to check my website, www.upmyhockey.com. The next available program will be on there. Really recommend you getting in. It is the perfect time. And yeah, I don't know of any other program out there that does what this one does. So check it out. If you're interested, DM me. If you're comfortable with it, by all means, sign right up and get involved. And we'll see you on Monday. Cheers.